Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr, and I have another video, a little video step-by-step explanation on how to do something that some of you may be wondering how to do. So for those of you who are wondering how to do this, hopefully you find this video helpful for you. It's not very difficult, but it does require some step-by-steps in order to do it, and hopefully it will be a huge time saver in the case of entering rosters into ball stat and ball score. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. First of all, ball score does have an import option, and it has an import option for regular rosters and for daily lineups and that kind of thing. But I didn't really need it for that. I needed to import rosters for a History Maker Baseball League that I'm going to be starting here. And what I had was an Excel of the players and stats and that kind of thing, and their batting and throwing hand and that kind of thing. And I wanted to find a quick way of entering these players into Ballscore that didn't involve me typing every name, because in this case I have 32 teams because it's a franchise league, and each team has 25 plus players. So needless to say, that is a lot of typing to do it that way. Fortunately, Ballscore does have an import option that works as long as you have things in the right format. So I'm going to show you how to turn these rosters into a Ballscore roster. So what you want to do is first you want to make sure that you have on your Excel sheet, you have the cells in the right order. And the only cells that can be imported into Ballscore are the first and last name, the batting hand, and the throwing hand. Unfortunately, those are the only four data points that can be imported into Ballscore. So they can be in whatever order you want them to be in. I put them first name, last name, bats, throws, but you can have them in whatever order you want them to be in. It doesn't matter. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is highlight the cells in question with your roster for all of your roster spots here. This is Colorado, by the way. And you want to right click and you want to copy. And then what you want to do is you want to open a blank. This one's not blank, but you want to open a blank Excel, if you will. And you want to just paste the values in to another Excel sheet. So if you right click and you click paste values, you'll have all of the first names, last name, and handedness entered in here on a separate Excel sheet just by themselves. And then you want to save this as a CSV file, delimited file, CSV, and you want to name it something that will make sense to you. And then you want to save it in an appropriate place that you can find it. Okay, it's very important you save it as a CSV file. Now, Ballscore only imports text files, delimited text files, not CSV files. So this file doesn't help us any, because Ballscore won't be able to import it because it's not a text file. What you can do is you can come up to your file, right click on it, and you can open with, and I just use Notepad, open with Notepad, and you'll notice that it opens the CSV file into a nice delimited file. Now you can resave that with a text. You want to get rid of CSV with a text extension, and just resave that. And that's the file that you will need to import into Ballscore. So let's open up Ballscore. And from the Ballscore front page, we have Create Roster as one of the options. So we create roster, And you'll notice that normally, if you're going to enter a team, you enter it by hand. You can just enter it by hand. Bats and throws, first name, last name, the whole thing. But we don't want to do that. We want to save some time. So we want to import roster from text file. If you click on that, you'll notice that these fields are listed up here. Field 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. You want to put those in the right order, the same order that you have the cells or the data fields in your text file. So I had first name, last name, bats, throws. So I chose first name, last name, bats, throws. You can also do uniform number, I guess. I forgot to mention that, or jersey number, which that isn't really important to me. But you could put jersey number in there as well. But those are the only data points that allows you to import, unfortunately. Even though it has 10 fields listed here, those are the only ones that allows you to import. And once you have this in the right order, you come down and select File to get the first text line. And you go to where your text file was saved. And you select it and you click Open. And you'll notice it gives you a little preview here. Joe Girardi, righty. Okay, and that looks good. You'll notice there's some weird symbols on the front. You can just ignore that for the moment. Now you click Import. And now we have the entire roster has been imported along with batting and throwing hand. What you will have to do is you will have to delete those weird characters at the front of the first name. Okay? And then you want to give your team a name. Now you could include the team name on the first line of the text file also, and Ballscore will be smart enough to recognize the team name there. But if you didn't do that, oh, this wasn't New York, this is Colorado. I'm already making mistakes here, folks, because I used New York Yankees as the text file name, and this is actually the Colorado Rockies roster. Let me just put Colorado Rockies there. The text file name doesn't really matter. Okay, so once you select the team name and you look and make sure everything looks okay, you can go to the second page by clicking Next down here. The other thing you can do from this page is you can enter the player ratings. If you use player ratings in Ballscore, you can enter the player ratings on the screen. And this makes it very handy because you have the roster all laid out nicely in different rows. So you don't have to go player by player to enter these ratings. You can just do it from this page if you have them handy. And whatever you enter in here will be the player ratings that it enters for them. But if you don't use player ratings, or you just want to do that and you're going to enter them separately, you just make sure everything looks right. Things are in the right order. Then you click OK down here. And it will say, do you want to save roster before closing? Yes, I do. And so you can name it whatever you want. We'll say Rockies. And this will save the Rockies roster file. Now, when we go to game setup, I'm just going to go through here. You can load roster. You can come down to that roster you just created or imported and click Open. And all of the players are here, ready to be used to create a lineup. But they're already imported for you. So pretty handy thing. That saved me a ton of time typing in 900 or whatever players into a Ballscore. Just by importing them, it did still take me maybe a few minutes per team to do, but it saved a ton of time because I didn't have to type in all of these names and select the batting hand and the throwing hand. Now again, you have to have an Excel file that has this stuff in it already. So if you don't have that, you're probably still going to be typing. But if you do have that, it's going to save you a ton of time. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to create a quick video to show you how to do that step by step. I believe there are other videos out there that may show you how to do this. But just in case you can't find one of those, here you go. with all that said, that's where we will leave things. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the other videos on my channel. See if there's something you find interesting. And until next time, have a great evening.